Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
Oh, dude.
Oh, man. TikTok on the pod.
the TikTok boys.
Also, did you guys want like my first day job or first like job?
Like just kind of we'll get into that.
Yeah,
but,
we'll get in there. We'll get there.
figure-
Don't worry. I mean,
we'll
we got
work our way through everything.
we got
All right,
time
I
to
was
cover.
I was
whatever we need to
worried.
cover.
I got the question wrong.
I always like when I ask people for that kind of information, I'm always like comics specifically. I'm always afraid they're going to give me like the first club they ever worked or whatever.
Oh, fucking get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And I don't want to hear about like bonkers in Winnemucca or whatever.
Bonkers.
Comedy clubs always have the stupidest
They
names.
cannot
They're the
respect
worst fucking
themselves.
name.
Yeah,
They're the worst names. It's
Yeah.
so bad.
It's just like, oh yeah,
No
come out to dumb fucks in Minneapolis.
I mean, I think, why can't they just say like, hey, come to Cool Guys?
Yeah, just name it after the owner or just give it something
Clark's.
comedy club. Yeah. Like even
I don't
like,
know. I knew a comedy club was called like Uncle Morty's or some shit in like Baltimore. And I was like, this is the fucking worst.
Could
Yeah,
have been
I
just
guess it's
Morty's.
true.
Could have been just Morty's.
Yeah.
I
Uncle
mean,
Morty's is dangerous. He's a dangerous
Creepy.
man. But Morty is just like, whoa, who's this guy Morty? You know, does he work at the post office?
I'm biased I'm farmed out of there or whatever, but like the punchline, I think that's fine. That's a name for a comedy club. It doesn't have to be. And also up north in NorCal, Cobb's Comedy Club in San Francisco. That's just a name. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't.
We had the Funny Bone back east.
Funny Bone's okay.
I think that's passable. I think Funny Bone is passable.
It's all right. You know what you're getting. It's stupid, but you know what you're getting.
Well, likewise, Comedy Zone, not an enjoyable name for a comedy chain.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like stand-up comedy and laser tag.
Correct.
I would love that. I would actually fucking love the shit.
Actually, that would be a good time.
That'd be so much fucking fun.
Especially if you're gonna get paid in drink tickets, you might as well get paid in kicking teenagers' fucking asses in laser tag.
I've never been good at laser tag. I will go on record and say that I honestly believe, I can never prove this, but I don't know if I've ever landed a kill in laser tag. Really, straight up. Maybe 2 or 3 in the course of my life. Yeah, but I want to say I've probably been killed
every time you played is what it's
times. Like I would get discouraged and just be like walking around all sad, people just shooting me as I was walking by.
Once you're dead, that's the sad walk.
Yeah, how often are you playing? You weren't playing that often.
Once a week for about 6 years.
I want to say maybe once every 2 months as a kid I would play, because I grew up with a family with a lot of cousins. There was like 17 of us total on my mom's side, and laser tag was something that came up, plus like school events, like with other birthdays with my classmates, but I was just terrible, just straight up. And I would get mad. I get right up on someone and fucking shoot them, and it just wouldn't go off. And I'm like, fuck this, dude. I hate this, you know?
Well, I guess we should introduce the podcast. Welcome to Fuck This Place, the podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today, another fantastic guest. He's a comic. He's a writer. You can watch his movie that he wrote right now. It's called Twice Bitten. It's on BET and Paramount Plus, but don't do that till you're done with the pod, because with us right now, Mr. Atif Myers. Atif, how are you doing?
Good. Just in a fucking tank top, like 2/3 of us in here.
Yeah, dude.
I'm not in the tank top club, and that's okay. I'm comfortable with the size of my shoulders, regardless of what they're encased in.
Nick and I used to work out at the same gym where there was like a Russian guy who wore like shoelaces instead of a tank top.
And
he would take like 10 of the machines.
Yeah. He was like running a circuit by himself.
But it could be crowded.
There's always that guy.
Yeah.
No, but he would leave like an article of clothing or item per machine so you wouldn't touch it. So there'd be like a shoe or like a pencil or like a water bottle.
Also, can we talk for a second about the shoelaces? Are they holding up his shirt?
That was the whole shirt.
Yeah.
He wore the tiniest tank tops.
Yeah, it was like the deepest V you've ever seen in your life. Just like spaghetti string tank tops. The V goes down to his belly button.
Yeah.
Got it.
And he looked like a bird. I remember he had he had like totally no hair on his head, completely
Was he
shaved.
swole?
He was like old strongman buff. Like he was real puffy, but I don't know that there was any definition anywhere.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he couldn't just rip a phone book in half or
like Kingpin from like Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah. He's just, it's like, you're not big, but somehow you take up a lot of space. That makes sense.
Did he have hair just on like right on the outside of that bicep? I feel like that's a big like guy thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. He had a lot of like tufts of hair randomly throughout his body.
And back knee, because he was probably on the juice.
Oh, absolutely. He was on it. Yeah.
He's fucking roided out of his mind.
Yeah. I don't know any 70-year-olds that are built like that.
You're right. I'm stupid. I'm just stupid. You're right.
Probably. He was probably on the juice.
He was absolutely a bird that was on steroids. Oh man. R.I.P. I assume. R.I.P. I assume.
Well, Atif, we should get into our first segment that we do actually on every podcast.
Okay.
It's a segment that we call "Fuck This Place?" where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. So we actually looked up some Craigslist posts you're originally from Annapolis, Maryland. Is that correct?
Yeah, from like the DC area. But my first job was in Annapolis because it was the white area that had money.
Hell yeah. Well, we went straight into Annapolis looking for the coin, so to speak. We have 3 Craigslist posts. So what I'm going to do. Oh, good, Nick.
I was going to say, you know, what's funny, because you mentioned it being like the widest area with money, is I was having a lot of a real issue finding like jobs I was interested in this area through the Craigslist. But I did find, and I sent it to Chase, just a service. Someone was just giving away a basket of bread. And that does sound like a rich white guy thing to do.
Yeah, just like, I have all this bread.
Yeah, I have all this bread, and I'm not worried about anybody murdering me. So
who
wants to come get
at
my bread?
All.
Yeah.
Here's my address. I sleep from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m.
I leave the door unlocked. Just come on in. Just come on. It's on the counter.
I have friends that live there. They would never lock their doors. They'd be like, "Oh, let's go stay in my house for the weekend if you want." I was like, "Fuck no!" No, I'm not doing that.
I was like, I don't need the back of my head blown off.
I straight up don't understand the don't lock the door principle, and I just because it's like just do it. Like, just do it. You know?
Doesn't it feel like more work to not do it?
Correct.
Yes.
It feels harder to not lock the door than it does to lock the door.
Because I imagine you're leaving and you might need keys wherever you're going, either for a car or an entrance to another sensible place. Right? Yeah. Like, you know, I don't know, an office building. You might need a key, like even your ID for. So again, you will be leaving with the same things. So anyway, lock the door, people.
I feel like I lock every door behind me. I lock my car doors when I'm driving on the freeway. My car doors are locked. Like there's no one breaking in like that. But every door I lock behind me, front doors, bedroom doors, whatever, bathroom doors. I'm alone. Bathroom doors getting locked.
No, same. Same. Fucking paranoid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a respectable thing to do, because what if someone walks in on you? What if someone breaks into your house and sees you pooping? That's no.
Oh, geez, that's over. That's got to be what John Travolta was going through in Pulp Fiction, right? Like someone came into the house and then knew he was taking like the biggest dump of his life or whatever.
It's double vulnerable. I get nervous. We are going to get in this segment, but I get nervous any place that I'm pooping where I can't, with my arms or legs, reach the door to block it from opening.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I'm talking about, like, if you get like
you get nervous if you can't touch the door.
Yeah, I mean, especially if there's no lock. But even if there is a lock, you know, it's nice, like, especially like in a stall, you know, like I don't love, you know, handicap stalls are great because they're always spacious. However, sometimes the door is too far away in case there's an intruder, you know. So I prefer to have just some kind of break.
You just poop like this.
Superman pose poop.
Yeah, well, it's really to push the poo poo out is what it's for.
Or do you? I mean, I don't know if I know Chase has, but Tiff, you ever play Que Sera in Long Beach, the bar?
No.
For Bear City, that bathroom, no lock on the door, no door to where the toilet is. So if someone opens the bathroom door, the entire bar can see you pooping. Where the toilet is, it's right there. You can just see.
They don't want you to poop in there.
Thighs.
That's like the Good Night, I guess, in North Hollywood, where they'll have the urinal next to the normal toilet, but the door doesn't have a lock, and the door is like 10 feet away. So theoretically, you could take a shit, and then someone could be next to you peeing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why dive bars do that, because they don't want you to do a bunch of drugs in there, I think is the main reason. And also they don't want you to poop your crazy fucking alcoholic poop in there. You know what I mean? They're like, you've been boozing for a while. If you're hanging out here long enough to poop, so whatever you got coming out, it's going to be pretty bad.
Pretty gnarly.
Yeah. So listen, if you're at the minimum, you aren't going to be embarrassed by your poop, because I guarantee you're going to leave it there and you're not going to flush, but you will be embarrassed while you're pooping. Is my hope.
That's a great point, Jess. I never thought of it from the drug standpoint. I've always just thought that they're really overestimating like how gross dudes are.
I wouldn't say they're overestimating. I think they're estimating it extremely accurately. At all.
But I'm just talking about how comfortable we'd be pooping next to each other. I'm not comfortable pooping.
So no. Yeah, dude, as a preventative measure, that's why they're over. I think they're properly estimating. They're like, dudes will be extremely disgusting as long as there's a door closed.
I couldn't even pee next to people, or like I played college sports. I couldn't even shower with people. Like that's how fucking body conscious I am.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Ever since I was a kid, I was the same way. Where like if I had to pee, I would go pee in the stall, even though.
Yeah.
I remember going to Raiders games and they just had like a trough. Just like
one
bucket in the middle of the room, and everyone had to pee. And I was just like, I'm just gonna stay to the third quarter and then go home, and I go pee at home.
Yeah, fair. So here's the way this works, Atif. Is there's going to be 3 Craigslist posts, the title only. I'm going to read them. You'll pick the one that's like, no, definitely fuck this place, and we'll look at the 2 and decide whether we work there or not. Fair.
Deal.
Okay, great.
It's got to be a lacrosse store. If it's Annapolis, it's got to be a lacrosse store.
So far, I can say no lacrosse.
Wow.
But that doesn't mean that there's not a little lacrosse vibe.
Okay.
I would say at least, in my opinion, at least one of these, possibly 2. Okay. Title number 1, Sailboat Mate.
No,
there's a little lacrosse vibes in that one. Well, hold on. We got to get the whole selection in.
I'm black. I'm not the one with the boat. I'm not doing it.
Number 2 is Annapolis / Edgewater dog walker needed.
Okay.
All right. And then last one is paid. I'm already skeptical. Paid Instagram market research opportunity. Share your thoughts and get. It doesn't say anything else after get. So I assume money, but we don't know.
I hope so.
So there's boat, the dog walking, and then this market research opportunity.
Dude, which no to boats. I just hate boats.
We're out of here in Boat Town.
I hate boats. Sorry.
Fuck a boat.
No boats. Yeah.
Boats are the fucking dumbest shit.
Look, I'm not going to disagree that boats are dumb. I mean, they're really fun when you're on them, but otherwise, what is going on with boats? Okay. Okay. Let's look at post number 1, which is Annapolis Edgewater dog walker needed. And there are 2 pictures. The first one is a very poorly sized logo, which I'm guessing is this company. It says barking trails, dog walking, and pet sitting.
That man is bigger than the sun.
It's one of those like setting sun. Yeah, they're in the
logo, top of the earth.
The logo is a man walking on a curved sort of earthy surface with some trees. And then they're silhouetted. This person and the dog are silhouetted against the setting sun.
I would do this.
Well, hold on a second.
I love dogs.
Okay, that's good.
Sorry.
Okay, well then you're gonna love. I think. Let's see. Picture number 2. It's just a real cutie of a dog, is what it is.
Oh my god!
It's you know how sometimes you get pictures of dogs and they look like they're people.
Yes,
I feel like this is one of them. There's a dog. You know how a dog will lean on the side of a couch like it's got one arm, like it's about to give you some like advice, in like baseball or something.
Dude,
that's this dog. It's just like, listen, buddy, you didn't pitch well today, but it doesn't matter. You showed up for the game.
Comfy chair too. They're all like lazy boys.
Yeah, there's a longer couch that it's sitting at the edge of. Real doe-eyed dog here. I would say a white floof is the breed.
He definitely looks like he could just be made of the stuffing that's in the couch.
That's correct.
I feel like dogs are evolving to look more like humans as it gains them sympathy. Like this.
Sure.
Like this dog right now, I want to tell my problems, but I'm also like, let's get a treat over it. Let's get a treat.
Yeah, let's get a milk bone. And let me tell you about my crushing self-doubt. So yeah, nothing crazy, red flaggy in the background.
Yes.
There's a strange structure here.
Is that an erector set? What is that?
A music stand or something?
Either a music stand or maybe for like a telescope.
It could be a telescope, but since there's a piano in the background, this person's cultured.
Yeah.
There's a piano in the background, so I'm guessing this is just an extremely elaborate music stand.
It looks like a garage door opener on the couch. I know that's probably the remote, but
it's for sure
like a garage door.
It's a big remote. Could be a dated remote, before people realize you just, you don't need like 16.
Can we zoom in on this dog's collar, see what his name is?
Sure, we can go for a name. I don't, this isn't like CSI when we keep hitting enhance and the resolution stays the same. So It could be Marcus.
Oh man, I don't
know. Winthrop?
Oh, good old Winthrop.
Maybe
boy Winnie.
Maybe the dog's full name is Good Old Winthrop. At the top it says, at the top here it says Good Old, and then the bottom says Winthrop. G-O-Dubs for short. Okay, so yeah, that's the pictures. So we get the idea that there's a company and that there are dogs exist. Okay. Hopefully this is one of them. And then the post begins. It says hello, which normally is a red flag, but in this case, I feel warmed by it. Just a good old fashioned hi there. Hello, we are hiring a dog walker for the following 2 clients. So there's 2 clients, 2 jobs. Anyway, Client A lives on Eastern Point Road, Annapolis, walks Monday through Fridays around 1 to 3 p.m., 30-minute walks. It says $14 per walk.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Really? 14 for, I know, I don't want it to be 14 an hour because then it means it's $7 a walk if it's 30 minutes, but still 14 is just kind of like, okay. And then it says 1 small mixed breed dog, which that could be, it could be good old Winthrop. Yeah. My good friend GOW. Client B lives on Fairmount Drive in Edgewater. And then it says most weekdays walks around 2 to 1 p.m. Some walks around 4 to 5 p.m. So that could be, it's not 2 walks a day. It's just 1. Okay, got it. Yeah. And then it says 30-minute walks, $14 a walk. Surprise, surprise, the rate's the same. And then it says 1 nice dog, which now makes me wonder about 1 small mixed breed dog. Is that dog nice? Because you said that one's nice.
Yeah,
you said this one's nice.
We have 1 nice dog, and when we have 1 legally a dog,
but it is and legally mixed breed as well. So yeah, a little concerned. Maybe GOW is an absolute monster. So not that, but if you look in this face, it's difficult to say that that's.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put that on GOW.
I'm not a curly I'm not a poodle kind of hair dog.
It does have a bit of a poodle mix in good old Winthrop.
You know, I don't normally trust those. It's hard for me to believe that about Winthrop, though. He might have me duped. This might be like a Primal Fear Edward Norton situation where he's just got me completely duped. Yeah, but. He looks like a good guy to me.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a good boy. That's for goddamn sure.
At most, you're making like $210 an hour. If we're looking at about like 15 walks.
You mean a week?
It's a week. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a week. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a lot of cash.
No.
And then the post finishes and says, if you're interested in walking either or both of these clients' dogs, please message us back with your phone number. Apply online at website, barkingtrail.com/become a pet sitter, or text us. Thanks. And then it's got this guy's name and a phone number, and then the website again. That's the post. $14 a walk. I'll be honest, would be hoping more for closer to the 20 range.
Yes.
And I would guess actually that they might be paying 20 a walk, but since you work for this fucking company that has expenses and shit.
Oh yeah, he gets a cut.
They get a cut.
He's like an agent.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the worst agent of all time. For the cutest job of all time. Good old Winthrop. So, look, I actually do like dogs a fair bit. What I do not like 9 times out of 10 is somebody's actual dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I like dogs. They're nice. But most of the time, once I meet your dog, I'm like, I've seen better, you know? So I'm going to say no.
So what is it like? Do you like strays? Which dogs do you?
I like the principle of dogs. But I just find that, you know, with a couple,
you like knowing they're out there.
Oh, I love the idea.
Sounds like a Clint Eastwood movie.
I just never met a dog. Never met a dog that I liked. No, but for real, I just think that every time I meet a dog, I'm like, this seems like a lot of work, you know? like even if it's a good boy, you know, it's just sort of like, boy, this seems like a lot of that you have to do. And I don't just mean in a daily basis. Like I have one friend, great dog. I mean, one of the best dogs I've ever met, I think. And we hung out a while back and like we were in public and the dog was off leash. So it was like, like a pretty chill dog. Like it would just sit there, but also like it needed constant redirection because most of the time I was like, can I leave? I'd like to leave. I'm a dog and I want to go somewhere, and he's like, no, we got, it's just, I like him, but I just think there's nothing like your own dog. You know what I mean? To really like all of those things that seem annoying about a dog to make them worth it. And I just, as soon as I'm around a dog that isn't mine, which is at this point, every dog in the world, because I do not own one, it's just sort of like, yeah, you're all right. You just seem kind of annoying. So no. I'm saying no.
For me, it's a thing where I more so am worried about the owners of the dog. I'm wary of anyone who doesn't want to walk their own dog because, that's part of the fun of it. I mean, I understand no one likes picking up poop. That could be what the aversion is, but it's weird that you would even have a dog if you don't want to spend time with that dog.
I think one of the things that we're also up against here, gents, and correct me if I'm wrong. I grew up in an era where the dogs got walked when you were home, and they did not get walked when you weren't. Right? Like these people, I would guess, actually do like walking their dog, and this is a supplemental walk. So I'm just saying Monday through Friday, 1 to 3. That sounds to me like a person who's working. Right. And it's just like, I would like for somebody to pop by the house, let my dog out for a piss and a little walk. Right. Okay. And I can't do that because I'm, working at whatever.
This is a tiny dog though. If this
hey, whoa. I would like to, for the record, state I had a much bigger dog than GOW here.
No, but this little dog can use a wee pad.
Oh, wee pad, sure.
You know what I mean? Like theoretically,
or a doggy door. You got a piano? You don't got a doggy door?
Yeah, like a backyard. Like this little guy shouldn't need that much work.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you live in an apartment, and you let's say you're not a piano guy. I mean, it's a keyboard. To be fair, it's a keyboard.
You think they got like a Scooby-Doo dog just off camera? That's like the dog they're actually talking about. They got like a Great Dane.
We're getting catfish. So we can catfish with dogs.
Yeah, don't worry. It's just a little guy. It's just a little old, and then it's like, it's a full-on like Doberman that just requires like, you got to make this dog run sprints. Yeah, no, I agree. Again, as a child, and again, I never lived in a house that didn't have multiple people that could be home at various times. We we let the dog out in the morning, do whatever, and then kids would be home by, let's say, 3, right? And we're like, okay, so dogs alone from, let's say, 8:30 to 3. That's not the worst timing, and the dog gets walked as soon as you get home. And it's just whatever. I've never had just like a literal job that's 9 to 5. That is a long time to leave one dog alone, but at the same time, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe you can, but maybe people are gonna write in and be real mad about this because we've shit on very popular opinions before, and I do think that the party line moving forward in at least the United States at this point is, if you've got a dog and you can't see it 9 to 5, you need to do something like this where it gets walked halfway through the day.
Yeah.
Whether that's biologically true or not, that is what people are doing.
I still think these people are going to be weird. Something about this doesn't rub me right. So that's more of my aversion. I'm out. If I was a kid and I lived in Eastern Point, I might pick this guy up. But as a 35-year-old, no, not going out there to do it. Atif?
I love animals. I've never had a dog. I currently have like 2 cats right now.
Okay.
But like, yeah, I'd walk the dog. Like, it's fine. Right. The money's shitty though.
Money's shitty.
Money is bad.
Maybe there's gonna be some tips.
Doubtful. If we're not even.
Yeah, I agree. Doubtful.
Like, we're not even gonna meet these people.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And I feel like this guy gets a cut.
Oh, that's a super good point. You know what you need to do? All right, here's the pro tip section of this job post. What you got to do is you got to get in. You get the job position, right? And then from here is when you build out your own client base.
Yeah.
And it could be just these people where you're just like, hey, like you get their number, like, oh, I need their number for emergencies. Like, hopefully but if I were the owner, obviously I would not let people do this because I'm making fucking money hand over fist for you walking dogs. But nonetheless, if you can get their number, you start texting with them a little bit, send them pics of the dog, and then that's when you go in for the kill of just like, yo, ransom. Yeah. If you want this dog back.
Yeah. Do you want this dog back?
$6,000.
You send him another picture of their dog, but it's at your house, but he looks just as comfortable. Like he's also just he's leaning on your couch, just looking fine.
Yeah. He could like this forever, couldn't he? Unless you pony up the dough.
I mean, you don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
You could just say you lost the dog, but have your boy take it. Then when they put up the reward, you have your boy turn in.
Wow, then you could really jack it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So neither nefarious means, but in case you really need to go for it. Also,
money was the issue. We just solved the money issue. How are you going to make more money walking this dog?
Ransom and espionage. Okay. Great. So not fuck this place, just sort of like,
Meh.
For the right person.
I'll tell you right now, if it had been a picture of a different dog, I might have just said, no, I'm not interested.
I think you're right.
It's that face that I'm like, all right, I'll work it out for you, bud.
Yeah. It's good old Walter. No,
Winthrop.
Good old Winthrop. Okay. So post number 2 is paid Instagram market research opportunity. Share your thoughts and get Indianapolis.
I would love if the first word of the actual thing was fucked. And get fucked. Get out of here.
Hey, thanks for the insights. Get fucked. Okay, so there's a picture. This one's a lot more clip arty / corporate. Yeah. And it says, want to get paid for answering questions about Instagram. And then we have like some art of people with a clipboard and Instagram. It's a survey. And then it says, sign up for paid market research opportunities, plural. Participation rewards from $100 to $300. Okay, this is a big difference. $300 is something,
Sure.
$100 is like, yeah, well, what am I doing here? Especially if this is a one-time thing. Okay. Yeah. So let's find out about this so-called opportunity. Interested in getting paid for your opinions on Instagram? Love the use of the thinking emoji here. Just the guy with the finger under his. Well, yeah, baby, I am. We're recruiting participants. Honestly, emoji use throughout this post is actually looking pretty good. We're looking for participants, and they use the 2 emojis that are like ghost people.
Oh yeah, the scariest emojis in the game.
Yeah, they're just like non-existent, sort of like unsolved mystery witness emoji.
I always thought it was a man with another man standing behind him that he doesn't realize is there.
You know what? I mean, you are right. And I never noticed this until I made a super zoom on this page. But yes, it is technically one person behind another.
Because you can see the shoulder of the guy on the left.
The shoulder, yeah. So this person's being hunted.
Yeah.
That's horrifying. I'd never even seen this emoji before.
Me neither. So now we're learning too much. We're recruiting participants or people being hunted, age 18 to 24 years old, to take part in a paid market research opportunity. Then they use the money tongue sign emoji.
The guy who's like throwing up money.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There isn't a throw up money. There's a throw up. Sorry. But yeah, it's a guy who just like tongue out, and my eyes
recently killed by. Yeah. He's recently killed by the Joker. It's like, I feel like this is how you'd find like a Gotham City victim looking,
or like the Bitcoin bandit. So paid market research opportunity, tongue emoji, tongue money emoji to share their opinions about Instagram. And then we got the arm with the phone. That's nice. Are you a parent with a child? And then we're really, I feel like this is a pivot, but it says, are you a parent with a child 13 to 18 years old that uses Instagram? And then we've got a nice hand raised emoji.
Like a Karen haircut.
That's a very haircut. Karen haircut.
The extremely regular, haircut here. Needs to drop by a Sport Clips. Because that's where they're going. That's where they got it from the first place. That's how it grew out like that. With your permission, we'd love to know their opinions about Instagram too. Thumbs up emoji. Up to $100 to $300 in for completing the study. Well, you were hitting home runs until you said in for. Yeah. Completing the study. Share your opinions and get paid. It's that easy. Sign up to participate today. And then there's a website. I'm guessing we're gonna just click really quick here. I'm guessing it's just like literally like you put your email in or something. Yeah. It's one of those. Just like, hey, I'm a person. And I have an email address. So that's the post. $300 tops for completion of a study.
My thing is, why do they need this? Can't they just go on Instagram and see people's opinions?
Because they're getting your fucking information so they can send you other shit.
Oh, you think so? I think, I mean, there used to be, I never went because I hated the mall. But when I was in high school, there was a place in the mall that like friends of friends I knew that would go to that was like, hey, if you go by this place, they do surveys and they'll give you like a can of like soda and like a $25 gift card or something, like something extremely not like disparate, like, well, but why the soda? But are we luring teens? And the answer is yes. So I don't think I think they want opinions about Instagram itself.
Oh,
right. Not about something that I just think that now it could be that yes, it could be that people are more than, in my opinion or experience, excuse me, people are more than happy to share their opinions on Instagram about a certain thing.
Yeah.
Right. But about Instagram itself, right? Like about just the experience of being on it or how you use it. I think that is a far, that may be worth a marketing company to get research on. So their pursuit may be justified.
Yeah. For me, it's a quick out. I don't like social media at all. I make it very clear in my personal life. I only am into it because it's like you kind of have to be, and especially with the podcast, but I hate it. So I don't want to like go somewhere else, even if they're paying me to like really.
But what if they were paying?
Maybe if they're paying me to bitch a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think, nah. It still feels like there's something else going on. I'm out. Something spooky going on. I trace it back to that first emoji of the guy standing behind the other guy. There's something else going on here.
There's something else going on in that emoji that we did.
They got you in that room like the cops have with like the double-sided mirror. You know, that's what that emoji means. Is that's where you're at.
That's
There's
where you're going
behind the mirror that's like watching you.
For sure. And that is true. That is exactly what happens in this scenario. I don't even think they're going to be secretive about that. Yeah. I'm not going to do this because
nice.
This isn't really recur. Like the problem with all of these survey things is that they're not really recurring. You know what I mean? Like there may be opportunities, whatever, but they're not like, I don't know. Now that I look at it, $300, this is where they're trying to hook me. I keep thinking about $300, but it's really the hundreds.
Yes.
300 is the absolute max they've ever paid out in 9 years of market research. The
boss is pissed. He's still pissed about it.
Still pissed about the way that Lance paid that one out. So that's, I'm coming back to earth. My optimism is finally fading. No, I'm not doing this.
You think they're going to have soda there?
I do hope they would have soda, but I think this is going to be, I think it's worse. I think this is going to be on the internet. I think it's going to be that they're going to send you a survey and you're going to fill it out. There's not going to be soda anywhere in sight.
Oh, that's a fair point.
No Diet Mountain Dews, no Dr. Peppers, no Cherry Cokes, nothing.
Have you guys ever done one of these internet surveys for money?
No.
Dude, I think I did one in high school, and it was like you got to answer like fucking 200 questions. Like I saw the list, and I was like, "Fuck that, man! I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
I'm not.
Closest I've ever come is I play like a mobile game, and I was asked to do the survey for the mobile game, and I did it, and something went wrong, and it locked me out of the account for the mobile game for 4 months. So I was like, "No, I'm never doing this again." I still get asked to do surveys, and I'm like, "No, I'm never going to do another survey."
I'll never do this. It's also like when you go to like those free movie screenings to get like tested.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. If you guys, and then you go and you're like, all right, now I watched the movie, and then it's like, fuck, I'm held hostage here for another fucking 30 minutes to give you my opinion on this fucking half-made movie.
Yeah.
Like it's always the fucking worst experience. It's never worth it.
I don't think I've ever done that. I saw like the private early screening of the movie Us, and I thought it was just okay, and everyone hated me.
It was just okay. It's an all right movie.
I thought it was an all right movie, and I don't know why that's a huge insult.
Is it?
That's how it felt when I said it.
I think, as a person who did not see Us, but was familiar with the conversation around the movie, I think that the by far and away, the like popular opinion was that it was very good.
No, it was mediocre at best.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah,
I
didn't see it. I'm not a pursuer of scary movies. I'm not saying I won't watch them, but I'm not like, would I like to pay and then go into a dark theater and be scared? Maybe not. Maybe not is usually my answer.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Fair.
Same.
So I never saw it, but I've heard Nick's opinions on it.
No, it's not that great.
And it was okay. And that's okay that it was okay. So we're all, I think, fuck this place.
Fuck this place.
Yeah, fuck this place.
What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So yeah, anytime you want. like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
You want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
Okay, Atif, what is the first job you ever had?
First job I ever had, I worked in a movie theater.
Hell yeah.
Same.
Did you?
Yeah.
Dude, it was the fucking best because of all the movie theater scams.
Scams? What do you mean scams?
You guys never... So, like, the main one was a lot of them. But, like, if I was the ticket ripper, so if I didn't rip the ticket, I just kept it.
Super villain name.
Yeah.
The ticket ripper.
The ticket ripper. No, but if I didn't... First of all, they don't let you fucking sit down unless you're handicapped. Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
But you can keep the
I remember
tickets.
that. That's true. Yeah.
You can keep the tickets and just not give them back. And then at the end of the night, like return them to your boy who's the cashier and then get all that money. And then he split the money.
Hell yeah.
Whoa. I never thought of that.
Because if a ticket's not ripped, then you can return it and be like, I never saw it. Because clearly it's not ripped. Right. So I would fucking just keep tickets.
Wow. So you're just like, that's $750. That's $750. Well, so my question is,
you are a villain. I was making a joke, but Atif the ticket ripper.
Atif the ticket ripper.
No, because like, dude, it might have been like in the whitest area, but the only people that worked there were like from the hood and stuff, right? So I didn't talk to anybody because I was like a quiet, shy kid. So they all thought I was from the halfway house. And it just built up this backstory that I was from the halfway house. And I was like, nah, man, I'm just shy. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, what a letdown. This whole giant thing. You were like, I just don't like talking to anybody.
They tried to like invite me to go do like hood shit with them. Like, hey, you want to come through this part? I was like, nah, I got to go home and go to bed. Like, you don't live at the halfway house? I was like, no. I live like 30 minutes away.
Well, hold on a second. Whoa, hold on. What did them thinking you lived at the halfway house have anything to do with like, hey, do you want to come to this fucking party?
No, but they wanted me to also do like, hey, we also sell drugs. Hey, you want to like?
Oh, you want to come sell drugs with me?
Yeah, I was like, nah, because like we built a rapport bond, and they were like, yo, man, I rap and shit. Like they rapped.
Yeah,
you want to come through and listen? I was like, I'm good, man. I don't want to listen to you rap about like working in the movie theater.
like minivans, how many there are.
Yeah, like I didn't. No,
they were like, you don't live at the halfway house? You don't got a glass eye? You don't got a hook for a hand?
Yeah,
like all these things.
Just so disappointed.
They really were. Because they thought, I guess they thought it was more interesting than it actually was. I was just some high school kid who just found like a job that paid like $7 an hour at the time.
Yeah. Okay. I have a question about logistically how the ticket ripping doesn't happen.
Yeah.
My recollection of going to the movie when ticket ripping was more of a thing. These days it is not.
No.
But I expected a ticket to be ripped and then I got my stub back. So how did you keep a ticket from people?
I just said we don't do that anymore. Like, people are the most like they will just accept anything if you tell them.
And again, they are, I'm guessing white people who are just like, I'll probably be fine. Like the employee said it. And also what's the worst that could possibly happen is that I'm just like working this through in a person's mind. This just happened. They gave the whole ticket to Atif. They're walking towards Spider-Man 2, and they're like, what's the worst that could happen? Well, number one, I'm going to have to go to the bathroom in the movie, but no, the bathrooms are behind the ticket person. Or what if I want to get concessions? Okay. So I go buy popcorn and then I walk back towards the ticket guy. That motherfucker's not asking for my fucking ticket.
No one cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. Yes. It's like when you sneak food in, I'd always just put food in like a bag from a store. So I'd walk in there with like a Sports Authority bag. And then some fucking teenager would be like, let me see your bag. I was like, do you have a warrant? You're not a fucking cop. Like, get out of my face. This is my shit. You're not going to look in my shit. And they're like, yeah, good point. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm not going to let you fucking look at my shit, man. Like, I know the rules here. You can't do this.
Well, isn't there some justification by like a security guard looking? I mean, no. Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, they're not cops. They're fucking.
They're teenagers. They're literal teens. Mm-hmm.
If some teenager came up to you and is like, "Yeah, I want to look in your book bag," you could be like, "No, fuck you."
Right. That's true.
Yeah, fair. That's super fair. Yeah. Teenagers can't look in my book bag. As a rule, no teens in my book bag. Okay.
Yeah. And Chase has said that for as long as I've known him.
It's one of my slogans. No teens in the book bag, folks.
Yeah. Dude, first day I met him, North Carolina. That's the first
okay. So that's one that's one scam. Were there other scams, or was this like, I mean, that's a pretty top dollar scam. I mean, hold on a second before we move on to other scams. What was your expectation of the money? You know, like either 2 tickets a night, 10 tickets a night?
Dude, so you try to space it out. So like every couple weeks we would just return like 10 to 15 tickets.
Sure.
So that's like $150.
All right.
And then we split it. And then also people just drop shit all the time. Like people drop and lose shit all the time when you sit in the theater. So afterwards you'd have to go. Afterwards you have to go clean up the theater.
Yeah.
And then you'd find like $40.
Oh yeah.
Or if there's still like a cup, you can return the cups and then get like the $5 from that.
Oh my God.
Really?
Because then they would just wash and reuse the cups.
Jesus Christ.
Never fucking use like the paper cups at a movie theater. It's fucking disgusting.
Okay. All right. How did they wash them? They just rinsed them out.
Just rinse them out. And then put it all the way at the bottom.
And that is part of the problem with the system that most concessionaires, including movie theaters, use, is that it's based off of the cups. Yeah. Right. Like they count, like it's like, one of the rules with employees is like, oh, you can use, the soda thing, but you get this tiny little fucking thimble cup.
Yes.
Because we're counting these cups with like the Coke logo on them or whatever.
It's the fucking worst. It was a terrible fucking job. Like I was just standing for 8 hours a day. I'd do like 5 things because of the space between movies.
Yes. Yeah.
It's awful. Because I was just count tiles. Like this is before like cell phones were really like as streamlined. Like I had a phone. Yeah,
but what are you gonna do on it?
Yeah, I remember I downloaded a picture of like Anna Kournikova, and that cost me like $40. It was awful because of all the data. My dad was fucking furious. He was like, "What did you download?" I was like, "Dude, Anna Kournikova in a bikini." Like this was 2006.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the size of a postage stamp.
Yeah.
Or like one of those like special postage stamps. It's like a little bit taller,
Yeah. Awful. With the Game Boy Color quality. It was brutal.
Yeah. After an hour of downloading, you're like, yeah, I guess that's fine.
we got a lot of shoulder, and that's about it.
Dude, it was awful.
That's great. So I mean, that's a good little mix of scams.
Yeah. We all started to walk out because someone took a shit on the floor.
Who took a shit on the floor?
Some customer took a shit on the floor in the bathroom, and like no one wants to clean it up. And we were like, dude, we'll fucking quit. Like it's $6 an hour. We can find another place in a shopping center. Like,
so what happened to it?
Yeah, what happened?
You just closed it forever?
The manager cleaned it. The manager fucking cleaned it.
Oh, I thought you said they closed the whole movie theater down.
Yeah.
No.
The place just went out of business.
It was Napoleon Dynamite. Like no one's.
How did you find out about the scams?
Because like everybody was running scams. Yeah, the cashier guy was like, "Yo, man, you're the ticket ripper.
Let's do this.
Save some tickets. We'll split it." You can still do that now if you buy like a paper ticket, and if you just don't let them rip it, you can just return it. I did that like a couple years ago. Still like,
oh wow,
yeah.
Man, it's if you're running the whole thing, I like this is organized crime.
For not being from the halfway house, you're pretty wild.
For stealing money from a movie theater.
No, I mean, I think you should steal money from a movie theater. Absolutely. But brave is what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna get arrested.
No, the risks are extremely low. I'm just saying I would still be too afraid to do it.
I'm gonna lose my job and then not have a job that paid me like
nothing,
$100 a week. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Well, how did you get the job?
My brother used to work there.
Okay.
So my brother was like, yo, you should fucking work here. You get to watch movies. Like they pay you. You get all the popcorn you want. I'd come home with like trash bags of popcorn.
True.
It's just dumb teenage guy jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
I remember I tried to hit on a girl and she was like, I was like, yo, I got a job. Because she's a teenager. You think any job is meaningful.
Yeah, well,
and
it is
like,
kind of.
And she's like, what do you do? And I was like, I work the movie theater. She's like, oh, what do you do there? I was like, I rip tickets And she's like, don't they give that to the handicapped people? And I was like,
you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, no, I mean, sometimes, yeah sure. The guy after me is...
I can't say no definitively across the board.
Yeah.
But
the guy after me is special needs. So yeah probably.
You're like, and me, special needs people and me.
And you're talking to me right now, right? I'm in school. I'm in class.
Fucking
yeah. So that didn't work. So
no.
But I still think there's some respect for that person. I mean, I'm not saying that people respect the ticket ripper, but I'm just saying, like,
hard pressed I've been a ticket ripper too. I would say I'm hard pressed to think of anyone that respected us.
Yeah, no one did.
I don't think anybody.
But what I am saying is that theoretically, that person who was really quick to reject you could have got her into a movie for free. Sure,
but like, again, people just to look at like you ripping tickets, and then you're like the first person they fucking bitch at.
Yeah,
because as soon as if the theater's not working, they'll come out and they'll see you standing at your post, and they'll just start yelling at you.
Right?
It's like, dude, I'm not the projectionist. I rip tickets. Like I don't do it. I don't know, man. I'm not in there.
Well, I remember customers, like if there was a family and they would come in, like their little kid would be talking to them because the little kid's super excited to be going to the movies. Yeah. So they're just handing you all their tickets and not even looking at you. Mm-hmm. And it's just like this, like Looney Tunes style, like storm cloud, like just moves past. Everyone's being completely ignored. Totally.
Yes.
I remember, I don't know if I've told this story on the pod before, but like, I remember my family getting my entire family in, and my dad would come in and he would give me this very obvious like wink, like he knew that I was letting him in, and then he would walk alongside the wall all the way, like as if he was sneaking in,
like a spy, like sort of
like Mission Impossible, like
hell yeah.
And it would just like all my coworkers at the concession stand just like looking at me, looking at my dad, embarrassing me, and I was just I'm already the ticket guy. This is already the worst.
I'm the lowest guy here.
Yeah. And now my dad's in here getting fucking doing a bit on me.
Because everybody was cool with you sneaking in people. That was like maybe the only perk.
And it was like, for me, it was just like, hey, Dad, be fucking cool. Like,
I'm helping you out. I'm being cool letting you in. Why don't you be
exactly.
Cool?
You wanted to see Pirates of the fucking Caribbean. You did this.
Yeah.
Just the shitty uniforms.
Right.
And it was all awful. It was all awful.
Yeah. Plus, in Nick's case, you got Dad doing like barrel rolls and stuff, and like looking around corners.
Just peeking out of the trash can he was hiding in.
See, my dad would just ask for the popcorn. He'd be like, yo, man, bring home a trash bag full of popcorn. And then he would eat that for like fucking 3 months.
Just fill up your entire car full of popcorn.
You could, because at the end, they just throw that shit away.
Yeah.
And it was next to the Amish market. Mm-hmm. So it was just
what you said was it was in a shopping center?
It was in a shopping center, yeah. And there was like an Amish market like right next to it.
What does an Amish market look like? I've never seen one before.
Dude, so it's just like
all they're doing is just like pointing at that movie theater like that thing fucking that thing is so crazy.
No, because that's the devil.
I'd be in the back and sometimes at the loan dock, and I'd see Amish people just fucking chain smoking, hating their lives. Like, it's like they're fucking shitty beards. But it's
I'll say they like pull off their fake beards.
No, it was all real.
Yeah.
But it was like a small like flea markety type thing where they just had like fucking fried chicken and vegetables and like pies and cookies.
Pies.
And they were just bringing so much fucking money. Because it was the very wide area.
Because people like an Amish pie.
Yeah, and pretzels.
Like, oh, the culture.
Mm-hmm.
People drive hours for these fucking pretzels. It was crazy.
Uh-huh. Really?
Yeah, Amish people say pretzels. White people don't have culture, but let me tell you, things that are white, people love those.
Yeah, pretzels.
Pretzels are white on the inside, you know. They love unfinished furniture, you know, that's not stained. Amish furniture, big plus. So, you know, I'm just saying, bagels sometimes.
They do have bagels.
Bread, hello.
Dude, was great.
Bread. Okay. I mean, I guess another time, ask more about this Amish story. That is weird. So, but Chase, are you good?
I'm good.
All right. Okay. So Tiff, that was your first job ever. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
Fuck, I've had a lot of them. I bet worst maybe being that guy who you see trying to peddle for donations in like Santa Monica. They wear like the vests You ever seen those guys? Where you mean for like nonprofits?
Oh, sorry. When you say pedal, I was like, the fuck is it? But no. Like you're like a grassroots organizer or whatever.
Yes, I did that when I first came to LA, and I got fired after a day.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I believe that. You got fired?
Yeah, because it's just a sales job. I didn't know that. I wanted to like fucking save people.
Yeah.
So But I remember next to me, I was in Santa Monica Promenade, and next to me was like a homeless guy with like no legs and just blood from his mouth.
Yeah.
And people try to give me money, and I was like, nah, fuck that. Give that guy money. That guy needs all the money. So I came back with like 50 cents, and they were like, dude, you're not good at this. I was like, it makes sense.
Wow, they really actually fired. I thought they would be like
they hired that like no-legged bloody mouth homeless guy.
Dude,
we're bringing in Carl.
Weirdest, I used to sell like inflatables. I sold inflatables for a couple years.
Inflatable like
bounce houses, water slides.
Hell yeah! You sold them?
Yeah, I used to work for like the largest U.S. manufacturer. So I'd sell them over the phone. I had a fake name
to churches and stuff.
To churches, people who rent them for like party event.
That's where they would get their lead lists from or whatever.
Yeah, because a lot of people. There's like a lot of like party event companies that had bounce houses.
Why
so, we'd sell it to them?
Why did you have a fake name?
Because most of the clients were in the South, so it was like Atif isn't going to sell shit to a Southern. Like this was like 20.
So what was your fake name?
Anthony. I was Atif Myers.
Anthony Myers.
Myers.
Good old Anthony. GOA.
Bounce house salesman.
Yeah. It was, dude, we'd have to go to conventions. Like, it was weird as fuck. It was weird as fuck dating too.
Okay, hold on. Let's get to dating in a second here. I want to talk about these bounce house conventions. My hope to fucking God is that if you go there, they at least have some of the stuff inflated.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
I would
like the entire floor to be inflated.
It was the entire floor. It was like bounce houses, water slides, and like people testing them.
Yeah.
Like
it's like a bounce Costco. Like it's an entire Costco size bounce house. Just bouncing
with like different. It
looks like Super Mario. The way
everybody's walking in between the booths, sort of like
we had like the world's largest inflatable zip line. It was like 120 feet and just bounce into a wall at the end of it.
Nice.
It was fucking crazy. You got to test them.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. I don't know how good of a job it sounds.
It sounds awesome, but again, we're on this podcast, so we know that it isn't.
It's like they just didn't like. It was sales, so it was like a salary and commission.
Yeah.
So like I was actually really great at selling. Like I was really great at selling them, but I just fucking hated being on the phones for 9 hours
literally
a day,
all day. Yeah.
All day just selling, wheeling and dealing bounce houses. Like it was fucking terrible.
So all right. So okay, number one, how did you find the bounce house thing?
I was saying, I had a recruiter.
Okay.
I had a recruiter reach out. He's like, I saw your resume. I have this job. It's interesting.
Well, then where did they find you? Were they on LinkedIn or something?
I think it was like monster.com.
Okay. Yeah. Cause that's what happens. You like on Indeed or whatever, you just post your stuff is there and then the recruiters can find you. This is like one of the first times in my life I've ever heard of someone reaching out, but that's really cool.
It was weird as shit. And then
you had prior sales experience, I'm guessing.
Sort of. I lied about it. I lied about my resume. This is a lie to my resume.
But I guess
I used to sell balloons before this.
Yeah. Well, no, because like I used to do like lighting and stuff for like political events back in DC. So I lied and said that I was like a lighting sales rep. I just threw it on there.
Yeah.
And
the HR person was just literally searching sales rep, and your thing came up.
Lighting and events, and they're like, okay, this guy has some events.
I see. Yeah, the connection here. Yeah. So, and in some sense, knowing more about events is more important than having a sales background, because it's like, you want to have stuff for people to do. I've been around, I've been, the stories you can weave about. Everybody's just bored to tears, Listen, Mrs. May, and you're like patting yourself like on the neck with a handkerchief like a Southerner does. She can't see you, but it really helps the character.
How long into being Atif did you realize you needed to be Anthony?
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah. Okay.
As soon as
you're like, hi, I'm Atif. They just like hung up.
It was something that so they didn't hire me initially, and then they hired this other guy who was just awful, and then they called me back and they're like, fuck it, we'll take you. And then we were on the second meeting, and then they tried to give me like another interview. And I was like, hey man, fuck this. Like I already interviewed. You can give me the job.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
this guy's good at sales.
Yeah. And I was like, who's the clients? And they're like, it's a lot of 7 people. And I was like, dude, a TIF is not gonna work. And
you said you said that right away.
Yeah, it was like in unison. They were like, yeah, it's not. Like
I thought I was gonna say they were like, oh, thank God.
Thank God you said it. Because there's no way in fuck we can.
I also didn't want people like finding my fucking stand up. Like I'm very searchable. For sure. Like it's such a weird name. Like it's yeah. Because I have the problem now where like the current company I work for knows I do stand up and they saw my videos and they're like, before the sales meeting, you want to do a quick 5 minutes? I was like, no, it's not my dick. Man. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It really sucks when the cat's out of the bag because you can't put it back in. They always want to talk about it. And you're like, blah, 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 blah. The reason I'm here is to make money and leave. So let's get back to that.
So I was like, dude, I'll be Anthony Myers. So I was just like, so I remember I'd go to conventions and all these like fucking fat Southern people were just so disappointed that I am Anthony Myers. They were because they expected some white guy, or they expected like some Italian guy, and then they just saw me because they'd come up to me, like, which one of you guys is Anthony? I want to meet this guy.
Yeah, they're crestfallen.
I'm like, yeah, it's me, and they were all just so sad that this is the guy who they spent thousands of dollars with. They were so mad.
I mean, did you have return customers? Were they that racist?
Sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay, good.
Like I sold the most in like the company without having a book of business. Like I showed up, immediately sold like $2 million worth of bounce houses.
Let's talk about this. $2 million for the bounce houses. Let's talk about this.
$2 million.
And water slides and inflatables. But
right. About the inflatable fun event paraphernalia. We've talked on the pod several times about how bad I am and presumably Nick would be at selling.
I tried to get you a sales job.
And we've talked off pod about that. And I will say I got into the interview process with them. It went okay. And then I realized I'm going to be fucking awful at this. And none of it panned out. And they never called me and I never called them.
Okay.
But I'm okay. Thank you for asking if to. Okay. But so what like, what is it? I'm not going to ask you how to be good at sales because that's not really the point. I think that for the most part, you're either kind of good at it and you'll learn, right?
Yeah.
Or you really shouldn't fuck with it.
I think so. It's also like, you just shouldn't really give a fuck.
Right? Well, so that's what I was going to say is what exactly is it about? What do you think that people need to be salespeople?
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Like, I remember when I sold like a super large deal. It was like $500,000 worth of like water slides. Like it was fucking stupid. And then everybody in my office was like, what the fuck? How you gonna do this? How is it? And I was like, I don't fuck. I'm just gonna do it, man. It's not my fucking money. I don't give a fuck. Like, just like
sure.
Why would I give a fuck? It's not my money.
So let's walk through the water slide deal of the century.
Yeah.
So what happens? So let's go through just the sales process to get to this person. Do you have a list that you call on? Is that the deal?
I would cold call about like 50 to 70 people a day. It was fucking terrible. A day. It was fucking terrible.
50 to 70 different people, or eventually you're looping back on people?
Different people. And then you loop back, of course, you keep like your process eventually. Of like, I'm going to call these people next week and just like fucking building a funnel.
Yeah.
And so I would just call, like, I would think outside the box and call different types of events. So these people were like the Tough Mudder people.
Okay, yeah.
So they needed like 10 to 15 custom water slides.
Yeah.
Fucking each one was like 50 G's. And I was like, all right, cool, let's do this.
Okay, so that's like a great example of like, okay, so you thought of the Tough Mudder people.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, let's just fucking do this shit.
So how did you go about that? You like literally just like went to the Tough Mudder website, started making like a call.
Like, you guys use inflatables. We're the largest American one. Like, do you guys need anything customized? We can do that for you.
Yeah.
And they were like, we actually do need something customized. And then you just start a dialogue and just see how you can help each other.
Yeah.
And obviously they have money. They're making like millions per event of fucking white people running through mud.
Absolutely. Like, they love mud. They get into the very cold water with like, in some cases, electrified fences going in there. It's a good time. I think. It looks like a good time. The people seem to be smiling. I'm not saying I would have a good time, but they seem to be having a great time. Like wearing bandanas, you know.
I am blown away by this. I never thought, just because I never thought when I'm thinking bounce houses, like I'm thinking of like me and my Mexican cousins, and they all pitched in to spend $200 to rent a bounce house that we could all beat the shit out of each other in.
Yeah.
And so when you were just like, oh yeah, I sold $2 million, I was like, how many of my Mexican cousins are renting these
worldwide? Like churches, like this is a fucking. I sold like a princess in Saudi Arabia, like the world's world's water slide, like shit like that.
Yeah. Well, and also don't forget, that a TIF isn't selling to your cousins, Nick. A TIF is selling to the company that your cousins rented from.
Yeah, because it's not a bad business. It's not a bad business if you get into it. Like a bounce house costs $800, right? That shit lasts you like 5 years.
Right.
If you live in California, you can rent that shit out for like every week.
Year round. Yeah.
So 200 times 54, that's like 10 G's. You spent $800 to make 10 G's.
Whoa.
Plus, and you're employing almost all of your employees are minimum wage.
Exactly.
You're just scraping all they need is to show up, turn the fucking shit on, and stay there, right?
Yeah.
The bounce house game is legit.
It was crazy. No, it was crazy. So yeah, and there's thousands of companies that have them. Like you got to think of every fucking
corporate events,
events. Just some bumfuck in Middle America was like, I need this for my church. Churches,
exactly. Like high school has like a field day or a senior day. They want to like get like one or two crazy things. Sporting events like colleges, that have like a homecoming shit where they're like, we're having a homecoming fair.
Dude, the worst was like I want to say there was like an accident that happened where there was a bounce house on a beach and it fucking had kids in it. I shouldn't be laughing, but it flew like 50 feet in the air. and everybody
because the wind picked it up?
Wait, the whole bounce house?
Yeah, the wind picked up an entire
and it had a little boy in the air?
Yeah, and like I just remember showing up to the office the next day and they were just like, we're fucked.
Oh, it's a business? No, you're not.
Yeah. They were like, this is the end of the bounce house game.
Yeah, they were like, the laws are gonna come down on us. They're like, dude, no one gives a fuck about us. Like it's bounce house. Like
so the wind just picked up a bounce house and it just sent the kid into the stratosphere or whatever.
On YouTube. It was all over the news. Like you just see a bounce house fucking flying water, just kids in it.
There's
like it was ridiculous.
Okay, yeah. So everybody's like, hammer's coming down, and and it didn't.
It's not, man.
Yeah, you were just like, I'm not worried. They're coming after Anthony Myers.
You're like in the middle of burning your fingerprints off. Like, it's no big deal.
It was funny because like I would get calls after I quit and from like customers still asking for like my advice. And they were like, Anthony, I need your help with this slide. Like, do you think this is a good business model? And I was just like, what's your profit and loss? Like, how much you paying? Like, I would still talk to him. I was like, I gotta tell you, man, my name's Atif. Like, I don't sell that shit anymore, man.
Wow.
So if you're gonna be texting me, at least call me by my fucking name.
They had to feel like it was like a Eternal Sunshine and Spotless Mind kind of a thing. They're like, wait, do I know you? What is this?
Yeah, like all of the different bounce houses they've been in flash before their eyes. Anthony.
It was so weird, man. Like again, I had this like while I was out here in LA. Like, so I was still doing stand-up and just fucking selling bounce houses. Awful. It's such a weird day job.
Yeah. So okay. So the bad part about it was you had to make 70 calls a day.
That's
a bunch of motherfuckers.
That's a lot of bouncing.
I mean, yeah, but like the awful part was honestly like fucking dating and like getting girls while being like, my job is I sell bounce houses. Like,
okay, all right.
It's so awkward and weird, like meeting women's parents, and they're like, "What do you do?" It's like I sell houses. Like what kind? It's like ones that bounce. They bounce. I'm not a realtor.
The funnest houses in all the land.
Awful.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how that would you'd lose some points there for sure. But
so I was like 25, 26. So I was just like trying to date and figure myself out.
But I was gonna say, like that being said, like weren't you making decent money?
Yeah.
So I mean, bad. It's like I am not a. I can't put myself in the shoes of the person that you would be dating, but like, I'm just imagining that we're sitting at a nice restaurant. This man is paying for my meal, presumably, or possibly eventually, if we choose to date. And it's like, what do? You sell bounce houses. All right. Well, if it comes with like good sushi money, let's keep this thing going.
No, selling bounce houses and stand up. Like that's a hard fucking sell.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean. It's too unstable platforms, metaphorically and literally. So yeah, I can see. They're like,
it's
kind of
so
like
weird.
it's kind of like if you were. I'm trying to think of another like bad combo of jobs. Like let's say you're a dog walker and a surfer. The two sort of like, look, I understand. You're kind of bouncing around. It's your 20s, no biggie. But it does seem like one of these isn't gonna.
Yeah.
Not.
I do improv and I repair hot air balloons.
Correct.
Yeah. It was so weird, man.
Yeah, like for sure. Yeah, like you're a skateboarder and a train conductor.
And the money wasn't like phenomenal. Like it was all because it was a smaller company, so they could just like fuck you over. So like I would sell 2 million, but then they would be like, well, our profits aren't there because we have to customize them, so we're going to give you like 20% of the commission of what it should be. And it's like, oh man, fuck this. Like that should have been like $80,000, and you guys are giving me like fucking 5. Like
that's
bullshit.
That's not great.
No,
it sucks.
Especially if you're good at sales.
Yes,
because that means that next time this is going to be the same.
You're like
more is coming.
You're like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go be a mime and a guy who tests out overalls.
Dude, I remember
overalls.
I brought in like millions to this company. The base salary was like $10 an hour. Right.
Man, that sucks. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, dude, can you bump me up to 13?
Yeah.
Like, give me 13 at least. And they were like, we can't do that. And I was like, all right, man, I'm quitting then. And then they went out of business in a couple years.
They were the largest one in America.
Yeah. But how many are there? There's like 5. The largest that make them, but the largest gets all their shit from like China.
Right. So they closed, and then they had to call their friend Dale, and they were like, "Hey man, we're closed. You want a bunch of bounce houses?"
Yeah,
essentially,
it was a lonely guy with like a bottle of bourbon and a revolver on his desk, just telling himself that he had a good run.
My coworkers were cool as shit. Like I still talk to a couple of them, but I was just like, dude, like I just wanted $3 more.
They clearly didn't have it. I think it's pretty clear they didn't have it. They were telling the truth. But I don't know why. So it was really just that the money wasn't worth the work. I mean, because it's like, because obviously you're sitting there and you're like, well, I'm making sales, so I bet you I could sell something else and do the same volume of work and maybe just make more money.
You were like, I'm gonna get a job putting perfume in magazines and also being in a ska band.
Well, no, because then I just transferred over to like security sales where I could work. Like the base salary was already way more than I was making. Yeah. And I could work like an hour or 2 a day and just still sell because I'm good at selling because I don't need to work 8 hours a day at selling. It's stupid.
Yeah, that seems like, again, it's not a pleasant thing to do, even if you like it. So it's like, that should be part of the trade-off is that you don't have to work a fucking shitload.
Yeah.
And security is something that people need. Bounce houses, pretty optional. Right? Somebody wants or needs security at one point or another. Yeah. So you just quit the bounce house.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, dude, I fucking quit after like lunch. Like I weirdly sat at my desk. I got a call from a company being like, yo, we'll hire you. And I was like, cool, I'll finish out the day till lunch. Ate my lunch at my desk, walked over. I was like, yo, man, I fucking quit. And they're like, why? I'm like, who the fuck wants to do this? It was so weird. Like, I don't know, man. Companies get fucking very weird with you.
It is truly mind blowing, honestly, in most cases, that when you say you quit and then they choose to say why, right? What should happen is you say, I quit, and they should say, yeah, that figures. Right?
Yeah.
Because who wants to work the job? Whatever the job is, it's like, nah, this isn't that. It's not. Listen, whatever it is, it's not that great here. So like, sure, I get it. You got to go.
I remember when I was getting interviewed. It's probably why I didn't win the interview the first round because they're like, what's going to come first, this job or like your stand-up dream? And I was like, my fucking stand-up dream, man. Like, I'm not going to quit to sell bounce houses. That'd be the weirdest fucking reason to quit comedy.
Yeah. And so then they were like, maybe not this guy. And then they're like, no, we do need that guy.
Yeah. And I was like, at what point are they ever going to intersect where it'll be a fucking problem? Like,
right.
The fuck?
Yeah. Like play out a world where I can't do both, at least for a considerable period of time. Because I promise you, like, I'm not signing a Netflix deal tomorrow. If you're wondering, I'm here in this interview, so I can promise you I'm not going on a world fucking tour next week.
Yeah. Like, get out of here. Yeah. Like who came in here to interview before me? Was it Eddie Murphy? Was he a candidate? No.
Yeah. How many people have you lost to stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
To a successful career in stand-up comedy. Yeah.
It was so fucking stupid. I was like, that is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. I mean, again, I don't understand when you quit, people don't go, yeah, figures. All right. Well, it's been good. Thank you. Yeah. Bye-bye. And it's like you're leaving a party, like, oh, you want to leave here? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. Same thing goes for leaving a party. Like, I leave because it's time to go, right? Like, I'm not going to be here for the rest of my life.
Well, it was awful because like my manager was there for like his whole life. He'd been selling bounce houses for like 30 years. And
that's I was like, too long.
Dude, it's like, I don't want to fucking be that guy. Like the owners of companies have switched and they kept that fucking guy. Like that was how crazy it was. They're like, we're just to leave him as the manager. And all he did was just chain smoke and just sell bounce house. Like, dude, I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
It's like, sure, I get it. You gave up your dream as a stuntman, but I'm gonna go do stand-up.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jesus, that all makes perfect sense. So
sorry to weird you guys out with the bounce house show.
No,
you got to test them though. We tested them.
That's good.
Yeah, it was a huge fucking warehouse. Uh-huh. So like, I remember we bought like the stunt bag. We were making like those big Hollywood stunt bags. So we would jump off the roof of the warehouse.
Oh, those stunt bags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I like to imagine like you're on the phone and you're like out of breath from bouncing. It's really good. It's a good one. It's very good. Very good.
Yeah. There are moments, or you slap it at a convention and be like, "This guy can hold a bunch of weight." Like it's so fucking stupid.
Yeah, it looks sturdy. I don't know shit about how these things get made, but like, yeah, it looks good. That's wild. Okay, well, question number. We typically ask 3 questions before the podcast closes out. Question number 1, I'm pretty sure we have answers to. It's when were you done and how did you quit? You were done around the time that they didn't give you a raise.
Yeah.
And then you quit at lunch.
Yes.
Because you had another job lined up.
I had another job lined up. And it's also like, I don't know, man, I just stopped giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, you guys aren't going to give me $3 more. Like,
or more commission. I mean, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Nothing else will happen other than what's already happened.
And after I quit, my friend told me, he was like, we had a meeting because we lost $2 million last year, which was a lot. And they were like,
sounds like a lot of money to me.
He's like, yeah, Tiff quit. Like he was the guy. Like, I don't know why.
Remember when he made that $2 million sale? Well, he's not doing that this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I fucking hated it.
Yeah. And obviously they didn't succeed. So fuck them. You know? Fuck them too. Okay. Question number 2 is, what would you say is one good thing you took from that bad job?
I guess just getting better at sales.
Yeah. You just realize like, you know what? I can't do sales.
Yeah, just getting way better at that and realizing like, okay, I could take a shitty sales job, but it won't be as bad as fucking being on the phone selling bounce houses.
Right.
Like that's like the basement for sales, I think.
Yeah, being on the phone is not a good time.
No, I met a guy who sold live chickens, like chicks. He sold baby chicks. And I was like, that's the only weirder sales job than mine. This guy has me beat.
That is pretty fucking weird. Yeah. You sell live chickens and you're becoming a professional juggler.
Yeah. He's only doing this till his ventriloquist gig really takes place.
They mail the chicks in like a box. They just mail them with USPS. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to delve into like what the poultry industry is like. I'm just saying they're not taking care of those chicks.
No, it was crazy.
They'll hollow out a phone book and put them in that.
Yeah, here's 2. Here's your sample.
Yeah, he was like, I sold $1 million last year. I was like, that's slavery.
That's like slavery.
It's crazy.
That's wild. But well, do you think that there was a benefit, as far as getting better at sales? Do you think there was a benefit in the shittiness, not necessarily of the actual job itself, but in the shittiness of doing the phone thing? Do you think you got like a lot of reps in, for instance?
For sure. And just like, again, it's always weird to me that people fucking bought to someone over the phone.
Sure.
Like you've never seen my fucking face.
Yeah.
But you're going to spend fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars with me. That's fucking insane.
Well, I think that, yes, that is bizarre. But at the same time, the product that they're going to end up getting is fairly well defined.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's not like correct me if I'm wrong, in security sales, or let's say you're selling software or whatever, that's more of an ongoing relationship with the company, right?
No, it depends on how long their business lasts. It's all business to business. So like they've had customers for like 20 years.
Sure.
Because their rental business has just stayed that long.
Right. Right. I guess what I'm saying is like you buy the bounce house. The bounce house is a defined object. It is what it is. But what I'm saying is, security, if your system fucks up, or again, if you're selling software, if your software fucks up, you have to go back to that company. It's a more complex product, is what I'm saying. Yes. So yeah, they're still spending a shitload of money, but it's also like, I've seen a bounce house. As long as this house fucking bounces, we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can return it. We know that there's a return policy or a warranty or whatever the fuck, So, I mean, that's true. I'm just justifying that, like, yeah, it was over the phone, but in that case, it's a defined product instead of a service or anything. So yeah, I mean, yeah, but still it is pretty bizarre that like, you're just like sitting in an office or something, just being like, we have got to think of something for the ice cream social this Sunday. And then some guy named Anthony calls and you're like, what? Oh yeah, a bounce house. Let's throw down $20 million. So yeah, no, it is weird. It is weird.
Weird as
that
fuck.
Someone can just come up and be like, "What about a bounce house?"
Dude, it's crazy.
Yeah. But yes, you got better at sales.
Yes, way better. Got way better at sales and like life. Weirdly enough.
Do you think you got better at that instant connection? Is that what do you think it was about sales you got better at?
Instant connection and like overcoming rejection. Like sales is fucking 90% rejection, as is like life.
Sure.
So it's like whenever something shitty happens, it's like not fucking selling bounce house. It's like I'm not, doing that.
Yeah.
So that's fucking fine. Like
yeah.
Great. Like I've had so much fucking like rejection, but it's like, dude, as long as I'm not getting rejected from a fucking bounce house deal, I'm fucking doing all right.
I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm good. Fair. Okay. Well, then question number 3, not related to that job, is we had a pandemic. We're in a pandemic. I don't know. Yeah. Some people's like lives have been, redirected, or they've got new like things going on or whatever. Like just sort of like, how you doing is the general check-in.
Oh, I mean, the pandemic was weird as fuck initially because I was still selling security during the pandemic. So it was like I Am Legend and Pursuit of Happiness mashed into one. It was weird as fuck. Yeah. It was so weird. And then like
you and your 2 cats are driving around Los Angeles going on patrol with like a rifle and stuff.
It was so fucking weird. And then like I got laid off from that, and then that's how I ended up writing that movie. Is because like this production company was like, hey, do you want to write a movie for free and we'll pay you if it gets made? And my agent was like, that is the worst fucking deal. He's like,
and you're still like, deal. I'll take it. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, dude, I got laid off. Like,
what else am I gonna do?
Yeah, I got nothing but time. I'll write some fucking weird TV movie.
Sure. And it happened.
It happened, and then I was still just bouncing from like job to job.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just. I don't know, I'm getting engaged. Like I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
Like, yeah. It's like, life's pretty dope. Like it's not bad.
Life is moving on to some degree.
It was a weird fucking beginning to the pandemic, but it's like, I don't know, man. We pulled through, fucking got engaged. I'm getting married in a month. Like it's pretty great.
And you got a TV movie under the belt, I
got a TV movie under the belt. I was getting some meetings out of it. Hopefully I'll still get some.
Sure.
It's not the greatest movie.
that's not a good pitch. Don't say that.
No, because like you never like I wrote the first. It's always weird when you're writing something for free because then they just give you like they still give you a shitload of notes. And like, dude, I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
But I'll write you 7 drafts, and then I wrote like 7 drafts. Fucking, they passed it on to another writer, so it wasn't like the original one that I wrote.
Yeah.
And then the network added in their shit. So when I saw it, I was like, all right, this is fine. Like, it's a fine movie.
Yeah, it's like, well, this is 30% mine.
It was exactly like 30% mine. At that point. I was like, oh, they kept in that shit.
Like the character's name is Anthony,
Yeah. But then I bought like a super expensive comic book and an engagement ring with that money. So it wasn't bad.
Yeah. All right.
That's cool. Nice. What we should let you go, but what comic book did you buy? I'm very curious now.
Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine.
Holy fuck, dude. That is a fucking
and a 6.5 CG seed signed by the creator of Wolverine.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That was I spent like 4 G's on that book, but now it's worth like 12. because the
Hell
comic
yeah,
market's
dude.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And
You're like,
Incredible
fuck
Hulk,
the
you could
engagement
even say.
ring. You're like, fuck the engagement ring. Let me know.
Well, the
what
engagement
book.
ring is not increasing in value anytime soon.
No.
Right. I think I could be wrong. I don't want to be, but I think that is the comic book that, Chris Estrada.
Yes.
I think that was the comic book Chris Estrada was looking for when he was a kid and someone pulled a gun on him in the comic book store.
Wow, really?
I think that's what he's mentioning in the episode he did with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so funny. Sunrise, Sunset, 2 stories of that comic book.
It's a fantastic book.
It's out there.
Dude,
that's incredible. Well, Atif, where can you be found on the internet if you'd like to be found?
Add Atif Myers on Twitter and Instagram. Like, I don't tweet or Instagram much. I don't do
but he's around.
Social media is fucking stupid.
Agreed.
Listen to my stand-up on Spotify if you want.
Yeah.
ATIFMYERS. It's fairly easy.
Yeah, we'll put the links in the show notes as well.
Okay.
So yeah, thanks so much for joining us, Atif.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you're the man, Atif.
Thank you, guys.
And fuck this place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening. If you had a good time, don't forget to subscribe, rate the podcast, leave a review, 5 stars, 4 stars. You can give less stars, but don't do that. I mean, you can, but just text us. It's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. You can just let it out, Get mean. We're here for you. Okay, that's it. Bye for now.